Hi there, I'm Anthony, and tonight we'll be finally talking about certain band and their newest album, simply entitled Plus. I guess you will understand if I refuse to pronounce the band's name, or simply ÖxxÖx, but the explanation of this name is actually pretty easy. So it's time for a small digression and core informatics time. Generally, if we interpret the first part of band's name as 0110 and the second part as 1001, and if we put it in certain type of variable string, which is determined for words or progressions of characters or symbols, and if we convert both numbers from binary to decimal system and put them together again, then we'll receive 69, and it's the meaning of the name of this band. Okay, so it is the end of the digression. But the question is what they play. And they play, I would say, avant-garde, gothic, extreme doom metal. And I don't know any other bands that would be playing like them. They usually play with some slower paces and use lots of organs. It's definitely a band with the highest numbers of organs I have ever known, with even more than XööX Trilicum. And when it comes to more traditional instruments, then the matters are a little more complicated, as it's pretty melodic stuff, but it is definitely not catchy. Riffs and drums are really slow on their albums, but sometimes more unexpected blasts also happen. And by the way, one of the members of the band is a girl who runs such an avant-garde project, Reaching, and I'm saying it because I saw her in 2022 before the Catafalque in London. The show was pretty nice, but it lacked real drums for me. So such a suggestion for future gigs, please get a drummer. And the last information before we move on to the album. Generally the band sings in their created language, which despite of lots of umlauts isn't similar to Estonian or Finnish. It really looks like a different language. And by the way, the band has their dictionary on Bandcamp, so you can read it if you want. And what are the meanings of those titles? Let's finally listen together to the album. The first track, and you will probably understand what I mean with this avant-garde gothic doom metal. Generally, this slow pace is definitely related to doom metal, but drums and riffs, in my opinion, are not so. I would say it's the same level of experimenting like solos in the Ruins of Beverast's songs. But yeah, I obviously mean Exuvia solo at the end. But at the end of this track, there is a pretty catchy part. After a moment, the second track greets us with such cool riffs. And then absolutely amazing slow ambient electronic parts. Pay attention to those various vocals. And this part of the next track especially caught my attention. A little more intense, faster vocals. On the other hand, the next track has more intense guitars, but they are blended amazingly with vocals. But the interesting is fact that band doesn't actually use harsh vocals, because they actually balance between clean and harsh, like here for example. I know I usually talk about albums from beginning to end, but there indeed happen some exceptions. And here I will indeed make such an exception as band on the next track operates with similar structures like on tracks I talked before. There obviously happen some differences, but they are pretty small. There is more pressure put on organs, for example, and also the tracks are pretty long. I mean for standard length of the songs, but I'm encouraging to listen to it from beginning to end, as it's music of very high quality, I would say. So now, thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoy what I do here, then please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Such a support is pretty important for me and for this channel. And see you soon in my next creations.